Welcome to Nene Math. It's me, Nene, and today we are going to start Lesson 2.2, GCF, Greatest Common Factor, Grid Method. So let's get started. So for this problem, we want to find the GCF of 32 and 160. So our fraction is right here, and I am going to show you that we can also use the GCF grid method to find the simplest form of this fraction. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. So first, we are going to start off with our grid. It looks just like a tic-tac-toe grid. So I'm going to start by drawing that. Next, we want to find the GCF of 32 and 160. So I am going to start by writing 32 on top for our first row. And then I'm going to write 160 next. So now what we are going to do is we are going to figure out what numbers go both into 32 and into 160. So I know that 2 goes into both 32 and 160. And we need to write how many times 2 goes into each of the numbers. So I know that 2 goes into 32 16 times and into 160 80 times. So now we are going to continue doing that. So I know 2, I'm going to do 2 again since 2 goes into 16 and 80. So I know 2 goes into 16 8 times and 2 goes into 80 40 times. So now we have one more row left. So I know 8 goes into both 8 and 40, and we are left over with adding another row since we need to write our last few numbers. 8 goes into 8 one time, and 8 goes into 45 times. So now we cannot think of any more numbers that go into 1 or 5, so I am just going to end it up with 1. So now when we want to find the GCF, we are going to multiply all the numbers we have in the left corner, and 2 times 2 times 8 is going to be 32. I'm going to write that right there. So that is our answer for the GCF, but that is not our simplest form fraction. So now to figure out the simplest form, we are going to circle these two numbers at the end since those two numbers represent the simplest form. So our answer for that is going to be 1/5. That's our simplest form. So let's move on to the next problem. Okay, this is a word problem. Mara has 32 chicken nuggets and 48 ketchup packets. She would like to make packages of chicken nuggets and ketchup packets to give to her friends. What is the greatest number of packages Mara can make with each package being identical? How many chicken nuggets would be in each package, and how many ketchup packages would be in each package? So this word problem, the clue words I see here is greatest number and identical. This explains that we need to do greatest common factor. So I have the 32 and 48, so we want to find the GCF of that. So now we are going to start our little grid, and we are going to start off by doing that. So I have the numbers 32, so I'm going to write 32, and then I have 48, so I am going to write 48 right next to 32. So now we need to think of numbers that go into 32 and 48. So I know 8 goes into 32 4 times, and 8 goes into 48 6 times. So now I know that 2 goes into 4 and 6, and 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So now we can't think of any more numbers that go into 2 and 3, so I am going to end that with a 1 since 1 goes into 2 and 3. And lastly, we have to multiply these numbers to get the GCF. So now we do 8 times 2 times 1, and we get 16. So that is our final answer for the GCF. So now I'm going to write that right there. 16 packages. So now we want to figure out how much of each item will be in each package. So this, we don't have to do any more work. We just have to look back at our grid. So I see that 32 is lined up with 2 at the end. So that means there's going to be 2 chicken nuggets. And I see that 3 is lined up with 48 ketchup packets. So that means we are going to have 3 ketchup packets in each package. So now I'm going to write our labels. So that wraps it up for our final answer for our question. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye!